This is a very important halacha, the halacha which we're going to learn right now. When I was in Lakewood, I was asked this question many times. There are certain things that people do which have a implicit understanding. And the question is, how much value do you have to give to the implicit understanding? One of them is, like on Matzeh, and the same thing applies on the Sudam of Sekis before Tisha B'Av. Do you have to, if you benched, are you allowed to eat afterwards? Okay, so here's the same subject over here. I'll just share with you, we're in Taf Reish Ches Sif Gimel. I'm just going to share with you, I usually eat my Sudam of Sekis in Yerushalayim, and then I come to Beit Shemesh. Okay? Now, I finish my Sudam of Sekis with enough time for me to come to you to get to Beit Shemesh and get the, and get myself ready. So, you don't think that I'm makabel b'tainis of my Sudam of Sekis in Yerushalayim, right? Okay. Im hifsik ma'achilasa b'od hayom gadol, like me, yachol lachzor v'lechol kol zman shelo kibel alav hatainis. V'im kibel b'alev lo yahavi kabbalah. But still, the place can say that you're supposed to express it. Yesh hakashet al minig la'achar she'achal oso lechol dibozeh she'mafsik havi il kibel b'peh. This which you stopped eating, that's like you're makabel b'peh. Before you bench, you should make a statement that you're not being makabel the tainis. That you're not being makabel the tainis.
Why is it so that some seconds if it isn't the meal before the fast?
Okay, the answer to that question is because this is the meal that you're supposed to be stopping to eat. And it's actually the Suda of Tisha B'Av, of Yom Kippur. All right?
It's a Suda Yantiv?
Yeah. According to many Rishonim, it's a Suda Yantiv.
Suda was the second word? Sudas.
Yom Tiv.
Suda.
Okay. V'im kibol of Asr Gam Berachitza V'Sicha U'Befrat B'Melacha. You also and everything. Shaloi kibol of Tainis, the Kabbalah Mahani Rak B'Plag Mincha V'Elech. Avol kibul of tainis couldn't plug mincha ein kabbalah so klum. It doesn't help. Avol im kibul alatzmo stam shelo lechol oid zeva hani afil shari mois hashana im kibul lo shelo lechol mechatzais hayom ve'elach k'mo shekosov. There's some kind of an aspect of making a tainis till the end of the day. All right. Sif Dalet. Be'erev Yom HaKippurim. You're only supposed to eat things that are easily digested. Nor that you shouldn't be pudgy. I guess they use that when you're davening. The Suda Shachris Naglim Ochlam. In the morning, you're allowed to eat them. Because it's not part of the Sudam of Sekes, we don't see the connection between that eating and Yom Kippur itself.
Should this be what most people in our generation are focusing on? Or usually of the weaker type?
I'm not sure I understand your question.
Maybe when they were survived on like 2 slices of bread, one slice in the morning, 1 slice at night, they were used to just being hungry. For us, we eat mostly ma'acholim kalim that are nesakal harbe. I think we'll be very hungry the next day.
I don't really know if that's true. I'll just tell you what in my family, what do we eat for Sudam of Sekes? We eat boiled chicken and potatoes. The chicken and the potatoes are cooked together, and we eat the chicken soup. And after the chicken soup, we eat the chicken from the soup with potatoes. Those are things which are easily digested, and they're healthy, you can get quite satisfied.
Totally understand. Okay. What's the
There are things which are hard to digest. Things that are hard to digest are
pastas?
like what?
Pastas?
No. Like chont.
Beans.
What?
Beans, nuts.
Yeah, there are different things that are hard to digest. What?
They take a lot of hours to go through.
Okay? And this has nothing to do with being satiated. A person is satiated when his stomach is full. The equal happens in the small intestine. It's two different.
You want to make it light for the small intestines, but you could be full.
Yeah. Okay. Now you want to know exactly which foods to do.
Set it
That's
for now, yeah.
we'll discuss that at a different time. But there's a
potatoes and chicken.
yeah, it works. All right. דבר המחמק יגוי בסומם וקרקון ויין טוב וזה אינו אוסר כי אם בסעודה מעוסקת. אבל דבר מאמר במזרע כגון מאכולי חול וכלקמי הירוי להיות נזר שלו לאכול כל היום. אוכן האוילום נוהגים לאכול שחרס וזה שמסיים הרמה אחרי שחרס תם המנהג לא נספורש וכן כזה מרל ועין במוגן אברהם שמיישב המנהג דעיקר תם המנהג משום שהם מאכולים קלים אוכן בסעודה מעוסקת נוהגים לאכול בשר שהיא עיקר הסעודה ודווקא בשר עוף ודיוק משהו במזנה נוהגו לאכול בשר עוף בשחרס שלא יבוא לידי קרי ביום כיפור ולא אסור לו לטבול you can't go to the mikvah מאכולי חלב חמה ועין בתז דהוא הדין יש לזור משום וביצים from shum garlic ביצים and eggs שהם גם כמר בזה וכוסה פרימה גודם דחולב המאורה בתרשיל oite im cholav esher de bottle beroiv the inyan zeh. No, it's not a question of just that you took it in. You have to be eating what you're called eating it. Lo yachol shum shemim b'nei shamai legera v'im ochol harbe lo yosem etzvo b'fi l'hokiv yom kippurim shem yivlo k'tzas min akiya, and that's problematic. Because the marival shelo yishtakev b'tzula hasekes lo yachol achila gas v'emes afilu tzula shachrish yesh lizor b'zeh shekosam ha'chava kol shekem b'tzula zu. And the person has to be careful that he doesn't eat wrong on Erev Yom Kippur.
With this re-swallowing what comes up,
Yeah.
how far does that have to come
It's your mouth.
comes to mouth?
Yeah.
See,
So why?
people are swallowing spit all the time, saliva.
So the spit is not coming up. Spit is coming out.
Right.
Here we're talking about food which was in the digestive tract already, and it came back out.
Saliva is part of your body.
Right
You're
now,
still swallowing it down.
Yeah, but
So,
saliva you're
one
producing
second.
from inside yourself.
1 second. You want to know if you're allowed to eat saliva on Yom Kippur? The answer is no. Okay.
No, good
I've
to
heard of
swallow.
people who spit it out all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know how they manage to go through the day.
Okay, but a person who's getting rid of his saliva by swallowing it, we don't consider that eating. But if a person would take a cup of spit and drink it, that I'm just saying, that
Why they
would.
don't bring
It's not roy lachilas.
Okay, everything we have to source. So it's all you jokesters. So we'll source it. Here in Tov Kuf Samach Zayin, Mishnah Berurah, Sifkat and Yud Gimel. Okay, so ומבעל יום הכיפורים דאוסר מפני שהוא דרייסה אבל זה דווקא לדסם מחבר דאוסר בכל תניסים, okay? ולעניין לבלוע רויקוי, and is in regard to swallowing one spit, matir habogin avram af biyom הכיפורים ואף דקיימלון דאשרי סב משכן שאינם ראויים לשתייה פוטר
Oh,
אבל אוסר החשני כיוון שאין כוונה כלל לשתייה. So that was very particular to what I said. I said that you're just getting rid of the spit in your mouth by swallowing, and therefore it's permissible.
Magen Avram's Mekel.
Because people swallow food because their throat is dry sometimes.
Well, maybe that shouldn't be done. All right.
I shouldn't ask anymore.
Yeah. But that's what you should do. But not asking doesn't make the question go away. All right.
In regards to the egg, because many people Erev Tisha B'Av have an egg,
Yeah.
and so we're not worried about that.
No,
That's the difference. Like you could-
Mutter lahatin chamin be'erev Yom Kippur lemotzei Yom Tov. This is a fascinating halacha. V'yesh omrim she'ein lahatin b'Yom Kippurim v'chein minig b'medinas elu. Now this is a weird halacha. When I say it's a weird halacha, means we're starting in a funny place and ending in a funny place. But the halacha is not strange. I walk into somebody's house on Yom Kippur and I see that there is food being cooked, and I assume that it's for after Yom Kippur. So I'm already a nice guy. I'm not assuming there's plenty to eat on Yom Kippur, right? So I assume that he's being mechen from Kodesh to Chol, which you're not allowed to do. So therefore, even though I put it on the fire on Erev Yom Kippur, and you're allowed to be mechen on Erev Yom Kippur for Matzah Yom Kippur, but being that it goes through the period of Yom Kippur, where someone could be choshed that you did something on Kodesh for Chol, therefore you're not allowed to do it because it looks like you're being mechen.
You know how to do it from Erev Yom Kippur?
Right.
But here it said, "V'yesh omrim she'ein hatmid b'Yom HaKippur." It doesn't say b'Yom be'erev. It said b'Yom
Okay.
Kippur. I don't understand that.
Right.
Also, how would we did it on Shabbos?
Okay, let's see the Mishnah Berurah of Cotton Bay. V'yesh amim she'ein lahatim shenir de b'Yom Kippur mevashel betanu l'tzarech chol v'zeh ein nochen v'afilu be'erev Yom Kippur koydem chatzois ein la'asos atmana zu. You can't even do it on Erev Yom Kippur in the morning for Matzah Yom Kippur. Ubechol gav neim over the hitman ein tzach lahamtim b'Matzah Yom Kippur kadesh yasa, because there's no malacha that's done. It's just that a chashash that people are going to think that you're doing something wrong.
So if a Sfadim can do it, because Mechaber says you're allowed to. Ashkenazim
I would imagine that that's probably the Sfarim do it.
So the same person who doesn't suspect him of eating Yom Kippur suspects him of cooking on Yom Kippur.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's not so
or warming something up on Yom Kippur for.
They eat already. They microwave.
I could warm something up
200
on my
Yeah.
plata for Matzah Yom Kippur. That's 100% mutter to do on Shabbos. I'm sure out of all the people that are here, there are some people that on Shabbos will take inverted pan and put some schnitzel on it on Shabbos for their Shabbos morning meal.
Right.
Why can't they do that on Yom Kippur for Matzah Yom Kippur? Right? Because it's Rachana.
And to do it on Yom Kippur for Yom Kippur for the
Because you're
children.
doing it for. You're doing it not for Shabbos. You're doing it for Matzah.
Okay,
Doing it on Yom Kippur for Yom Kippur
that's
for children
fine.
that are
That would be
eating.
fine. I think that's
I mean,
fine.
it's not the etzem hatmana that's the issue. It's just you're doing it for chol.
Right. Okay. All right. Next halacha over here is I'm just going to make a statement. I don't think anybody over here is minhag hagra people. I gave once a shir in Yerushalayim to people that were minhag hagra people, and I said, you know, there are those people who light candles on Erev Yom Kippur and they make a bracha. And they said, no. Okay, so now I'm going to say the opposite. There are those people who light candles on Erev Yom Kippur and don't make a bracha. And, you say, of course you make a bracha, right? All right, so we're going to see.
Once a year bracha.
What?
One of the once a year brachas.
Yeah.
But
Ma-
Shabbos, they will make it up.
When Yom Kippur falls out on Shabbos.
Hmm?
When Yom Kippur falls out on Shabbos.
And they
There's a
will-
special halacha about Yom Kippur. We'll see. Okay. I would just, the sugya of this siman is the light and festivities of Yom Kippur. That's the subject which we're going to. Okay, Mokom Shenogin Lahadik Ne'er Yom Kippurim Madlikim. Mokom Shenogin Shelo Lahadik Ein Madlikim. Okay, each to their own. V'im yesh lo ner b'bayis chayv lahadlik b'cheder sheshoichev sham kedei shelo yovo liidei tashmish mishtoi. Me'achar sheroya ois etzel aner shebebeisoi.
Why is that in Yesh Linear?
We're going to see. The Mishnah Berurah is going to discuss this. We're going to skip to Dalit. Chayv lahadik. Ritzon eleva af b'makom shenogu shelo lahadlik etzel ner shebebeisoi. Hamogen Avrohom miyashiv minig she'ein noagin kein because of the mikol mokom yesh lahachmer. Ochen be'ishtoi shehi nida debalav hochi bodel minei mishum nedusa yesh lahakel kishemadlikim b'shulchan below b'cheder. Then you can be makel and not have it in the room. All right. Why does
it help you on the shulchan?
Because anyways, we'll be soymech on the fact that there's a candle somewhere in the house that you're not going to be mishamash anyways. Okay.
It's usher if it's in. I thought the reason why you're lighting it is because if it's
That's a machlokes that we'll see.
Okay.
All right. So you know what? Let's see the Mishnah Berurah, the first Mishnah Berurah. Okay. Both minhagim are basically, they're in agreement. You know, this happens many times. They're fundamentally in agreement. How do you express this idea? Practicality is where they have a argument. The hainu levatel tashmish. The amalde kavanosa also l'shamish neged or aner. And therefore, if you have a candle in your room, so that precludes the possibility.
Is it you'll forget, or because there is no light, you're more likely to?
So just 1 second. Right? So they both are
trying
to avoid the tashmish. The question is, which problem are we dealing with to avoid? And this is a very important part. A person, even though he's not going to actually do tashmish, but even thinking about it is improper on Yom Kippur. Okay. Okay, that's going to go to...
And therefore there's no candles, or therefore there's yes candles? I mean, there's no candles, so you won't see her, so you won't even think about it.
Right, that's okay. Yesh mi she'omer she'mevorach al adlokas ner b'yom kippurim v'chein haminig b'medinas elu. The Goin disagrees. That's why people here in Yerushalayim don't do so. The hainu b'moket she'noagim lahadlik shuv b'meila hava lechiyuv olav lahadlik b'shum shalom bayis kamo b'Shabbos. V'chein haminig hainu she'noagim mevorach asher k'nishanu b'mitzvos v'tzivanu lahadlik k'nishal yom kippurim.
Why don't they light?
What?
What's the minig not to light?
Because there's no chiyuv. Because there's no shalom bayis.
Because there's no... But the people that are home need to not trip, no?
Okay. Now we'll discuss that in a minute in the next halacha. Ubechol makom madlikim bebati knesiyos bebati midrashos ubemavos ha'afela al gabi ha'cholim. And you light for these people. You know, you need to have light to see. The halacha to have light to see didn't go away. So we're going to see something. You don't make a bracha because these are not shalom bayis issues; they're just things that you have to take care of. Now the Sharetzion over here has something fascinating. Umashma the Sharetzion Vov. Umashma l'chayre midivreihim dekoi alakol v'hainu al gabi ha'cholim gamkein. That we're speaking about for the cholim also. When you're lighting for them, you don't make a bracha because you're not worried about shalom bayis. V'ledidit tzorchin. Frag the Chavetz Chaim the l'chayre gam shom shayach shalom bayis sha'isham sham shalom yiram malahaviloi. They have to attend to him, so therefore there should be an aspect of shalom bayis. He doesn't answer it. This is like an important yesod in learning. Not all questions have to be answered. That's a very important idea. All right. Noyagim b'chol makom laharbas nes b'bati knesiyas ulatzia begodim noim bebeis haknesses. They add candles in shul, and they put out nice, tapestries.
The
Okay.
regular tablecloth is talking about, or ma'al?
If you have nicer, you put out nicer. V'noagin shekol ish gadol oikotan oisin loiner. That everybody has a ner. V'gam ner neshama la'oviv v'l'imoy shemesu. And this is also a question: do you have to have one for each one of them, or one for both of them? The other have been hugging about this. V'chei nochon, v'chei kosu mix abusa. V'im kavu neres elu b'yom kippurim. If these candles went out, ein lomer l'goy sheyachzu v'adlikim. Do not tell a guy to relight them. Umi shekavu ner b'yom kippurim yachzu v'adliken b'motzi Yom Kippur v'al yechabenu oid, and you let it burn till the end. Eli yenichenu dolek ad gemirei. V'im kibbul alav shekol yomov lo yechabe b'motzi Yom Kippur neroi lohu v'lo acher, and you should never have it put out. You set the table. I'll just tell you, in my Shver's family, the minig is that they set the table on Yom Kippur like for Shabbos. They put out the dishes, and they have food there, and they come in and they say Good Yom Tiv. We're not eating. They say.
Sounds Yiddish.
Yeah.
You're not worried about someone seeing it and thinking they're going to eat?
No.
You don't have candles there.
Okay.
You don't have any lights.
Okay. V'yesh noagil lilbosh begadim levanim dekiyim b'yom kippurim dugmas malchei hasharis. We wear a kittel. V'chei noagil lilbosh a kittel shu lavam v'noki. V'gam hu beged mesim by day zeh. Leiv Adam Nichne v'Nishbar, when he realizes that we're only here for a very short stay in this world, and hopefully he'll behave properly. Okay. Okay. Ve'ein lo mar going to Yud Gimel. Ve'ein lo mar to the goy if it went out to relight the candle. Afilu b'ramiza u'mitzvah oisek eshiyanecheno kach mechuba. It's good, just let it stay off. They became the people once you have the guy there, so you tell the guy to take care of all the things that you need, to put them off, to light them.
Why were they so nervous about this can?
Because it's a bad simon if it goes out. Because it's like you don't have gas in you. That's what it means. And therefore, it's not necessarily a bad simon. And this, there are people that they have this minig that they give it to the shamish and they don't know, and the shamish mixes them all up, so you don't know where your candle is. I will light a candle here in the shul, and I'm Kamat, the only one here who does it. Never did I see anybody remove my candle. Okay? All right.
People are still, the Rebbe is still not, but even in Prussian, they do only bring their neshamas.
Okay, I don't think ever saw move my candle. I don't think there's more than 3 candles that are lit here in this shul. Okay. Why do you have to set the tables? Mishum de ikri Shabbos Shabbos on Yom Kippur is called Shabbos. Shenog lilbosh begadim levanim v'nogam shegam noshim losh begadim levanim nekiyim lechover hayom. Okay, now this actually is a machlokes. The Magen Avraham says that the idea of being dressed in white, which has to do with malachim, doesn't apply to women, and therefore they shouldn't wear white. But there are other places who say that they should. Avalo yiskashtu atzum b'tachshitim shemiskashtim b'hem b'Shabbos Yom Tov They have to tone it down a little bit. They don't wear a kittel. Even a person who's an oval is allowed to wear kittel. ואין לכנס לבייס הכיתה בכיתל, שהוא מיוחד לתפילה. אבל להשתם בוי מותר. Okay, this is a fascinating halacha, and we're not learning Hilchos Tzitzis, but a beged miyuchad letfila does not have to be that it's miyuchad letfila. We daven wearing a kittel, but it's not a beged for tefillah. What?
On the Seder.
Right?
Yeah, maybe.
All right, but
Pushing the meaning is to go in with the kittel.
yeah, because it's a regular jacket.
Right.
It's not a kittel.
They still davening it.
All right. Well, I'll just tell you, their thing is not a kittel.
It's a real.
Yeah. Why is it not a kittel? Because it has pockets. A kittel does not have pockets because you can't take it with you.
Are people in Israel buried with a kittel?
No, they have special tachrichim that they use here, and those who have tachrichim from Chutz La'aretz that are buried here, they don't use them. I was actually at a levaya yesterday, and the people that levaya at, these are people who are anshe yekas, with minhagim. The minig is that the daughter, the lady who died, the daughter is supposed to tie the booties of her mother before she's interned. Booties are like socks that okay? And they didn't let her do that because they don't have them. It's different. There were different tachrichim over here.
So then, if a person isn't buried with a kittel, and one of the reasons to wear a kittel is to say it's the beged mesim, but it's not.
No, well, a kid. Okay. Well, the answer to that question is that it's something like a kittel.
The tachrichim or something.
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
something like a kittel, right? It's not. It's
A toned down white thing.
yeah. It's similar. It's similar. It's just not exactly what we call a kittel. If you saw one, you would think it belongs on the next rack. It's not.
They come in two pieces.
Right?
Pants and a shirt.
Yeah, okay. I'll just tell you that there are many people who have the minig that when one gets married, so the kala buys a talis, she also buys tachrichim. That's minig.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
That's not a good sign.
That's very nice.
That's a long-term marriage.
See you
Till
later.
death do we part.
I'll have the talus back soon.
Okay, but
It's not a very good sign.
Yeah, it's
okay.
interesting.
It actually is a very good sign.
Yeah, what's the...
These-
Hopefully we'll be together till the
yeah, that's all these things that are taken
that's
care of in
what I was
advance.
Saying you better behave.
Yeah. Okay.
That's important.
Okay. Next siman. Yom Kippurim leilo k'yom ulechol davar. Ma'hen advar ma'asurim bo malacha achila shtir rechitza sicha nilas asandel tasha shamisha. Ve'en chiyuv karetz ela al malacha v'achila v'shtia. Okay, that's a simple halacha. Kol malacha shechayav maleh b'Shabbos chayav malav Yom Kippur. The halachas as far as malachas are concerned are the same. V'chol sheB'Shabbos poter aval aser. It's a derabanan. Gam Yom Kippurim ken. Ela sheB'Shabbos doina skila. Yom Kippurim is doina kares. It's a weaker punishment. I would just like to share a thought that I have, and I'm going to say it right now since we're learning Yom Kippur. Which is more chamer, Shabbos or Yom Kippur? Okay. I would like to differ. Okay? The answer to that question is it depends what you're talking about. I'm going to ask a simpler question. The Gimel Averis Chamurais, are they the most severe Averis in the Torah?
Yes. You can say
Yeah.
they're the most Danish.
Severe.
If you
Yes.
do
Severe
avodas
as far as what, I mean, the onus? or
So
what?
that's
That's what I was going to say.
right. So the Nitziv has a long piece on this, and he says they're not. He proves they're not the most severe averos. But these are the breakdown of humanity to the point that a person who does these averos, he, you know,
It's opting out.
Very
Right.
symbolic.
so when you discuss which is more symbolic, I'll just use I'll use it from a strictly halachic purpose. A person who marries a guy and a person who's mechal Shabbos, who did a bigger sin?
Chal Shabbos.
Okay, who's less Jewish?
There's a guy.
Symbolically, it's worse.
Okay, so and the answer, right. There's many examples of this kind of thing, and there's a defiance which certain averos express, or different, and that's why I just quote. I heard this from Reb Shimshon Pincus once. He started off his speech. He says, "I would like to register a complaint with the Oilo. I get here before Yom Neroyim, and I say tshuva is the most important thing. I get here before Shavuos, and I say Torah is the most important thing. I get here before Pesach, and I say Amunah is the most important thing. Right? I get here before Sukkot, I say Simcha is the most important thing. What are you guys sleeping? How many most important things can there be?" So I'll just, if he would ask me that question today, I would tell him that Rav Volba wrote a sefer on the 7 mitzvahs which are keneged kulam. There are 7 mitzvahs in the Torah that they are keneged kulam, and that's impossible, right?
But there are 7 minutes.
Okay, and the answer to
War got it down to 1.
what?
War got it down to 1.
No, and the answer is it depends what you're talking about and when you're talking about it. And I'll just use this as an example. The Stipler and the Chassam Sofer both say the same thing. The Stipler says it about tzitzis, and the Chassam Sofer says about Ma'ariv. Both of these things are keneged kulam. And the Mamachas are on both of them, they're keneged kulam, and neither of them are you mechuyev to do. Right, you're not mechuyev to wear tzitzis. If you have a beged that has 4 corners on it, then you have to wear tzitzis. So how could you say that tzitzis is keneged kulam and you don't even have to do it?
Gufa.
That's right. What's the hagufa?
Since you don't have to do it, therefore it shows the greatest commitment, if you will.
Right, your connection, right? So that doesn't mean that it's the most important, but there's an aspect of it that's keneged kulam, right? So when we discuss things that are keneged kulam, it's not a stira because they're discussing different aspects of our Yiddishkeit. And a person who doesn't fast on Yom Kippur, I just make the following statement: 85% of the people that live in Israel today fast on Yom Kippur. I cannot say that about Shabbos.
If Shabbos was once a year, they would do it too.
I don't think so.
I think they would do it.
I don't think so. It's in a different place in a person's mind.
Because it's every week.
That's not the reason why.
Even Chalonis that don't, they say, we're so Chaloni, I don't even keep your kids.
Right. This is there's Yom Kippur and there's Leil HaSeder. There are certain key functions that identify you as a Jew. Are those? I just use as a different kind of an example. Who would you say is a bigger Mechal Shabbos? You walk into shul on Shabbos, and you see a guy with a pen in his pocket, and the guy next to him is biting his nails. Who is a bigger Mechal Shabbos?
Depends why you're biting your nails.
It doesn't make a difference why you're biting your nails. You're biting your nails, you're a Mechal Shabbos, and your pen in your pocket doesn't do anything wrong. A guy who comes to me on Shabbos and he says, I have a pen in my pocket, what should I do? I said, keep it covered. it's a klisha malachto iser, and tchilas titulo b'heter. You have no chiyuv to take it out. Okay. Now, a guy who walks into shul with a pen in a pocket, he's a machal Shabbos, right? But you want to know is
Look at his nose.
no. There are many things that you have to know. What does it represent? What the person is doing, and the Noida Yehuda says about something. A person was mekel in Shabbos, and he says, "Bishlam, you mekel in Shabbos. That I can understand, but you're mekel on Yom Kippur. How can you be mekel on Yom Kippur?" So I say that obviously Noida Yehuda didn't understand that Shabbos is worse than Yom Kippur, right? But the answer is that the hanhoga that a person has to have on Yom Kippur is greater than the hanhoga a person has to have on Shabbos. You have to act more perfect on Yom Kippur than you do on Shabbos. Not because it's more chomer, but because of what the day represents. Okay, so this is an important idea. So right now, even though we're learning the halacha that says that Shabbos is more important than Yom Kippur, though that's true that Shabbos is more important, it doesn't mean that whatever you're makel on in Shabbos, you can be makel on. I'll just share with you a story of a gadol in America who's not alive already for 25 years. There was somebody who was offered a position, a very chashuv position, and he was asked if they should give him the position, and he said, no, don't give him the position because he's a kal. And they said,
What?
a kal. Kal.
No.
Yeah.
Weak, light.
Yeah, and they said to him, why? So he said, because he was mekel on Yom Kippur and this thing. So somebody who was there said that the Rav in your yeshiva last Shabbos was mekel on this thing.
Oh, last Shabbos.
Okay? And the yeshiva said, so what? Yom Kippur, we expect more. Okay, so try to do our best on Yom Kippur.
Meaning that rabbi missed it. He missed it.
Well, you have to understand that we expect more at different times. Okay. Now, the next halacha over here is extremely difficult halacha. This has to do with preparing on Yom Kippur for Matzi Yom Kippur. And the halacha over here is that you're allowed to break open the nuts on Yom Kippur in the afternoon, so you should have them to eat on Matzi Yom Kippur. And there's all discussion if you're allowed to take them out. There's boyer. Not going to get involved in all these things. We don't do any of these things anyways. Okay.
So opening a package would be similar?
No. Opening a package could be an Issa D'Oraisa. This is only Issa D'Rabbanan. And I would also say opening a package is not something that has to be done in advance. The Kenivus Hayarek was something which people had to do in advance, so therefore there was allowed for it to be done. Okay. All right. Maybe we'll stop over here. Okay.